Welcome back to Arise America. A New York State Court of Appeals is hearing a case on whether chimpanzees are entitled to legal personhood. The case could lead to expanded rights for other animals such as elephants and gorillas. And the case involves a 26-year-old chimp named Tommy. Attorney Stephen Wise is arguing that animals with human qualities deserve basic rights, including freedom from imprisonment. He's also seeking the release of 3 other chimps in New York. And Attorney Stephen Wise joins us in our studios. I got to tell you, this is a very interesting case, Stephen, here, because anytime you kind of equate an animal with personhood, it raises all sorts of questions. Now, apparently this case went to court before. You lost. It's on appeal right now. Where are we with this?
It is. We asked a New York Supreme Court, which is the lowest court in the state of New York, in December, if they would issue a writ of habeas corpus, order the imprisonment of the chimpanzee to stop and bring him to Florida. And the court said no, because we don't think he's a person. Only a person can get a writ of habeas corpus. So we said we think he is. We appealed to an appellate court. We filed a brief, and we had the oral argument in front of the 5 judges yesterday.
Now, Tommy apparently has been severely abused. Is that the case?
Well, he's abused to the extent that he lives by himself, and chimpanzees like us are intensely social beings. So to have a chimpanzee in perpetual solitary confinement is very bad. And plus, he lives in a cage. We're trying to bring him to a sanctuary in Florida where he'll spend his life. He could have 30 or 40 more years with dozens of other chimpanzees and live a life that would be as close to a life in Africa as possible.
Stephen, what about animal protection rights that are already on the books? I mean, there are certain laws that protect animals now. You really can't abuse an animal. We looked at the case of Michael Vick and dogfighting. He received prison time for this. So in terms of what you're trying to do here, aren't there current laws that would protect Tommy and also afford him the possibility of going to a safe haven that you suggest?
Well, there really aren't. We agree that keeping Tommy by himself in a cage for his life is not a violation of either federal or state law. And the only recourse Tommy has is for a group like us to come in and argue that he is a person, meaning he has the capacity to have at least one legal right. We argue that he does have a legal right, and he should be able to seek a writ of habeas corpus, be removed from his imprisonment, and be sent to a sanctuary.
You know, Steve, I think many people think this is actually a really good thing, but you know, you're getting on a slippery slope here, as some would suggest. This country has a very sordid history when it comes to animals and humans and equating one with the other. Of course, back in the early days of this country, you had the 3/5 compromise, meaning that African Americans were 3/5 of a man. And then, of course, those equating chimpanzees and apes and stuff like that, obviously hideously so with black people. Yes. They say, well, wait a minute, you know, chimps are chimps, they are not humans. Is there some other way you could fight this thing without having to use a personhood scheme? And I'm not using scheme as a negative thing.
Yeah. No, we are, obviously we're not saying that a chimpanzee is a human, and we're not equating chimpanzees with slaves. What happens is that the legal path we're using, a writ of habeas corpus, is one that was traditionally used in England and in the United States for slaves to try to challenge their status as a thing and move them into the status of a person. So there's a lot of law out there and kind of a path in front of us for how we might be able to do that for someone like Tommy. So we're saying, when we say Tommy's a person, we simply mean that Tommy has the capacity to have a legal right.
Okay, well, I think you clarified that. Where are we on the appeals situation right now, Steve?
It was heard yesterday. We should receive a decision in 4 to 6 weeks, and if we win, we go back to the lower court. If we lose, we go up to the higher court.
Well, we certainly wish Tommy and other animals like him well. Stephen Wise, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
All righty.